Today I will be talking about a very notorious street gang from DC. What's up everybody, it's your girl B-Octavia and I am back with another video. Welcome to my channel. It is Monday, we in a new month. I am praying for blessings for all of you. I am praying for mental stability and all those good things, financial stability, or however you say it, right? If you don't know me, my name is B-Octavia. This here is my channel and my people. I am from Washington, D.C. and I am an entrepreneur. The links to my businesses will be in the description. And yeah, so today I will be talking about a very legendary and notorious street gang from DC. But first, I'm going to have to do a disclaimer. Now, my disclaimer is bringing up situations from the past, people from the past, street legends, street crews, gangs, whatever you want to call it, right? Now, there is no disrespect in me bringing any case to light again, and it's not just to talk about it, it's to really break it down and figure out what the lessons are that we need to know from these situations and scenarios. Bottom line, the generation that's under me, a few generations that's under me really need the game, and I really want to give it to them genuinely. I really want to give it to them authentically. I really want to give it to them and lay it out in a certain way, and nobody's opinion, especially a negative opinion, is going to stop that, right? This is not a negative space. This is somewhere where we really want to learn more and we want to really voice a opinion that's going to help, okay? With all of that being said, let's get into the video. We're going to talk about the 8th and H street crew. We're also going to talk about the case and the murder that put a lot of these alleged gang members away. In 1984, there was a murder of a 49-year-old wife and mother that had everyone in Washington, D.C. on edge. Catherine Fuller was sodomized with a pipe, kicked and beaten to death for $40 and some very inexpensive jewelry that she had. She went out that morning in 1984 for a storeroom with about $50 in a coin purse that was in her bra. When she was found, she was nearly naked and severely beaten. 16 boys, young men, and one teenage girl were arrested for her murder. Detectives at the time stated that this murder was up there on the list of most savage and senseless killings in the district. They also stated very early on that this murder was a gang attack. Towards the end of their investigation, police arrested 17 people, all allegedly members of the so-called 8th and H street crew. 13 of the 17 that were charged claimed their innocence adamantly. 8 of the male defendants were convicted and sent to prison for life. 7 were sentenced to 35 years to life in prison. As the trial ended in late 1985, 8 young men were found guilty of the murder of Catherine Fuller. They ranged in age from 16 to 26. The appeals of these young men were denied in 1988. On March 29th, 2017, the U.S. Supreme Court heard all arguments about whether the government's misdeeds required the reversal of all of the convictions. In June 2017, almost 3 decades later, the Supreme Court ruled that the men convicted in Catherine Fuller's murder do not deserve a new trial. The defendants alleged that prosecutors withheld some evidence in the case. They also said a man convicted of similar crimes had been seen in the same area on that day. But it was noted that it was not reasonable that the info would have made a difference in the decision of the jury. Catherine Fuller's murder was one that gave the nation's capital the label of the most dangerous place to live or most violent. Her death brought major attention and heat to the city. Notoriety for its brutality, and the police always linked it to the rise of the neighborhood crews and violent youth gangs. This case has been officially closed, as far as it being clear that these men will not get a new trial. Although that's a fact, this case was revived by a lot of journalists, bringing up valid questions that needed or still need to be answered. Questions about the convictions, questions about the changes in the testimony of some of the witnesses, and questions about the revelation, aka T, that the prosecutors had information about another man who some said had been in the area at the crime scene on that day. One of the justices in the case even stated that instead of casting blame on one man, the defendants could have tried a new and different angle, and it perhaps would have got them a lighter sentence, or it would have got them freed early. Now, what we can learn. Now, I remember talking about the prosecutors dropping the ball in Gregory Bryce's case. And I'm remembering that because a lesson that we can learn from that was, you know, prosecutors was being very overzealous, you know, and to me it does seem like a lot of the crimes were being linked to people from certain neighborhoods that they knew were doing bad things but not necessarily did that crime. So I feel like it's a lot of that. But on the other hand, you know, when talking about prosecutors, we do got to talk about us. You know, we got to talk about us. And let's talk about us for a second. Now, we may accumulate a record, right, from our lifetime and going through different phases in our life, right? But one thing that we have to have within knowing our rights and knowing how the judicial system works is education, okay? A lot of us that get entangled into the system don't know certain laws and codes that can get them freed. They don't know what an angle is, you know. A lot of them do have their case files, but they don't have somebody to really help them and work with them on it, you know, and for them to gain that knowledge. So it is a very sad thing that it seems like we don't know how to properly fight for our lives behind bars, you know. Having proper education and knowing how to find certain information even though you are confined, it takes a different type of skill, and you have to really think, you know. I think that a lot of times people put too much responsibility on their lawyers, if they even have any, you know. I feel like if you aren't confident in a person that is your lawyer, whether they be for the state or you paying for them, we have to know how to defend ourselves. And not just on the street. We're not talking about just on the street. We're talking about defending ourselves like we are the lawyers. A lot of people don't even think that they are capable of defending themselves and representing themselves in a court of law. Because I'm sure that there are many cases just like this, where it's stated that the defendants or defendant definitely could have had a new, different angle that would have caused for a trial, that would have caused for questions that needed to be answered. And like I said, you really have to think. You really have to broaden your horizon on what angle you want to use. You have to have several different ones. It can't just be one angle that you are hoping will get you free. I did want to say rest in peace to Catherine Fuller. And furthermore, rest in peace to anybody who was taken from this world in a very violent manner. Nobody deserves that. No amount of money is worth it to take somebody's life, especially $50 or $40. You know what I mean? And if there is 100% evidence that these people did commit this terrible, heinous murder, then there should be no right for you to get out. There are murderers getting out every other day, you know, who have quote unquote done their time. I've seen motherfuckers, they only serve 6 of a 17-year sentence, shit like that. So it's murderers and people that did very fucked up things that's getting released every day, but they must have had some damn good lawyers, or they thought themselves of different angles that they could use, and they applied it and it worked for them. And that ain't saying that, you know, just because that worked for you, that you won't be arrested again for murder on another person, you know. That's what comes with the judicial system. I don't even know how it works, you know, but in me doing crimes and being charged with them, I would definitely work towards defending myself, because I'm not confident in nobody else doing that. And I'm not confident in, you know, somebody really feeling what I feel that's not behind a wall. So we got to think, if we don't have the money to retain a lawyer, we have to become the lawyer. Without the school, without the education, we really got to throw ourselves into that position. And hopefully we defend ourselves in the right way. It's your girl, B-Octavia. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for tuning in. It is Monday, my day back, and I feel good. I feel like I'm going to start this week off strong, end this week off strong, and go on to another week strong. Like I said, I will see y'all in my next video, which will be tomorrow. Make sure y'all are tuning in. Subscribe, like it, share the video to Facebook, Instagram, etc. And I will see y'all then.